Welcome to Nurse Practitioners Changing Practice. I'm Dr. Carol Berger.
I'm Dr. Nina Zimmerman.
Tonight, we're going to do something a little different. We are going to introduce you to our website. For those of you listening, we're going to tell you about the different parts of our website, and we invite you to come look at it, check it out. We have worked really hard on it for students to really give you some help. For those of you who are watching our YouTube, you'll be able to see because I'm going to share my screen, okay? So that's another good reason for those people listening to come check out our website.
Yeah, check it out. There's some good stuff and there's more stuff coming.
Yeah, and please like, share, subscribe so you know when we have new things coming up. Okay, here I am going to share our screen right now. All right, are we seeing that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so let me move this bar out of my way. Okay, so as you can see, this is our website, and it is npschangingpractice.com. Okay, so I'm going to say that one more time, npschangingpractice.com. So we're NPs, plural, changing practice. And what we have done, Nina and I have created this wonderful website for our students, for people who have graduated. Some of our students always used to ask, where can we find your content? Where can we listen to your lectures? Where can we go? And we created this website. And as you can see, we have lots of different areas, right? Obviously, we have our podcast here. So if you click into our podcast link, you're going to be taken right to all of our podcasts, and you can go in. This is a very popular one by Dr. Dan Young. It's had almost 120 downloads already, and that's been in a very short period of time. He gives such good clinical pearls on kidney management, and it's so applicable to primary care. We have motivational interviewing. We have APA for those students who are struggling with that. Dr. Gail Pitroff gives a wonderful guidance on how to navigate that whole system and make it a lot easier. Oral health, and you can go through here. We have policy with Dr. Sue Kendick, who is also a lawyer. So she knows a lot about policy, and that's another real popular one. And you can, Margaret Benz, she's on to update our policies all through here. You can just go through our entire podcast and see all the different episodes here. So that is one. Now, the next thing I want to bring you to is lectures. If you click into lectures, you can see that you have pathophysiological, pharmacological, and pediatric lectures. These are at no cost. So if you're struggling in any of these areas, come and take a listen. We have created all of these lectures, and you can, they're usually between 30 minutes to, maybe 15 to 30 minutes in length. And you can get some good information there. Let me go back. I wasn't there. So you have patho, you have pharm, and then you have pediatrics. So that gives you a little bit of variety, right? And we might add more lectures about different subjects as that can grow, right?
Yeah.
I think health assessment, right, Nina?
I think it would be nice to add some health assessment, maybe some unique lectures on elderly, some differences with taking care of the elderly. Some different things that would be good. Maybe a COVID lecture. That'd be good.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I've been studying is functional medicine. So there's a lot there's a lot of physical signs, like your nails, your hair, the things that point to vitamin deficiencies and things like that. So stay tuned. This is going to be a growing area for you just to come in and listen to lectures. Now, as a disclaimer, if your teacher is saying something different, always listen to your teacher.
Absolutely.
Okay? Also remember that these could have been recorded at times when, things have changed. We've learned more. COVID, in COVID, we've learned so much about pathophysiology that it makes it, has expanded or changed some of the things maybe we are saying here. So always remember that you need to update yourself, and we'll try to update it as best we can. Okay, but this is our disclaimer, right?
Yes.
Clinical pearls. These are the zebras of what's going on in the different system, the different case studies that we have had along the way. And we will be adding this section a little bit more. We're
Mhm.
actually going to do some podcasts that just are case studies that were interesting to us as we've had them throughout the years, and present them to you so you can take a listen and kind of see if you can guess what's going on too. Great way to improve clinical judgment, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll probably record some of those, and then maybe Carol, we talked about recording them and then putting them in our format, so you could look at them
Yep.
Online. That would be really great.
Yeah, we'll have like some kind of a interactive PowerPoint so that you can go through it and click through it. And, the goal is clinical judgment. So I keep saying the word clinical judgment because it's a new keyword for how testing is going to move in the future. So it's
Right.
not going to be, and I don't know the exacts as to when the boards are going to change to that model, but the more you can learn how to assimilate all the knowledge that you're being given and then make a judgment call based on multiple factors, the better. And so that is what we're going to try to offer you to help you with your studies. Okay. Now I will tell you these particular clinical pearls have been popular for the past 5 years. There's never a semester that I haven't had a student that hasn't asked me, where can I listen to those again? So I would encourage you to look at those. Now, the next thing is our educational games. Now, my husband is a very bored, retired programming person, and I keep giving him new projects. Okay, so if you go into games, there's all kinds of different kinds of games in this section, and I'm not going to play them. I didn't mean to skip. Oh, goodness. I think I'm in the game now.
There you went. There's okay.
I want to go to just the page. All right, so this is Kill the Bug. And as you just saw, there's a bug that comes through, and then it's a game with antibiotics. And it helps you to be able to identify what antibiotics in this particular case kill the germs that are associated with an ear infection. By playing the game, my husband actually knows what to prescribe and what dosages.
That's great.
That's because of course he did hours of developing the game.
Absolutely.
Right? But it is a way for you to learn what the one of the big questions students have is it gram positive, is it gram negative?
Right.
Antibiotics kill it. And what about antibiotic resistance? Well, we tried to build that into that game.
Yeah, that's a great game.
This is another game. This is called Sinus Infections, and I love this game. This one, is, and I love these characters.
I do too.
At some point are going to have these characters as little cups that you might be able to look for in the store. But my husband said, nobody is going to want to have a cup and they drink out of it that says chlamydia on it.
Only nurses, maybe.
I know, but what we did on the cups was we listed the germs that the antibiotics that were associated with that bacteria, and it was a teaching tool, but I can see his point. But anyway, this is kind of walks you through again, and what you're learning is all these different bugs are different kinds of, well, I'm going to play this one real quick, okay? So bear with me.
So for those of you listening, this is a game on our website. It's showing, it's animating.
The bugs are walking across, and you've got a little legend as to what they are. And they're saying, what are the 4 types of bacteria most likely to cause a sinus infection? And you have some choices. So you can, pick your choices and see if you got them, right? If you did, then it gets you to another screen. And then you have to drag the bug over to the beaker that says if it's gram positive or gram negative. And if you don't get it right, it just kind of comes back. Okay, and when you get them right, then they go in and they stay in. And so when you get done with that, then now you have to pick all of the different containers, or 7 different containers that will, the different dosages of the medication, and you'll have to keep restarting until you get all of them.
All the ones that are right.
Yeah, and so once you get all 7 right, then you are good to go, and but by repeating it, it's going to help you to remember these drugs. And I have found, I don't know about you, Dr. Zimmerman, but until they begin to interact with medications, they don't really, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
So that's that game. And the other games we have is Soap Notes, and this came out of a health assessment game. And so you begin with this, and we're trying to teach you what is subjective data, what is
Yes.
objective data, and it's a drag,
Drag and
kind of
drop so
thing.
that you,
And
students
you
sometimes
see-
have a really hard time distinguishing between subjective information, what the patient tells you, and the objective information, which is data, physical exam, that sort of thing, test results. So I think it really helps, especially if you're just learning how to do a SOAP note.
Now I am just putting them any old place, right? These are the different parts of a SOAP note. And like Dr. Zimmerman was saying, this is something that students in health assessment miss all the time.
Yep.
Because you haven't been used to charting in this way. And so this gives you just common statements. Now I've obviously mixed them all up, but there it tells me how many I got wrong and how many I got right. So that's kind of, and you can keep playing that over and over again. And then my favorite so far, and he's making us another game, and it is really cool. It is called the CYP 450 modulator.
Yeah.
It might take a year to we get that one, but these are pathophysiology games, and there is quizzes 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the way you play this game, it comes up. My son did the design of making that spin. I think that was really
That's
cool.
awesome.
We click to start, and now here, this is a timed game. It's sort of like Jeopardy, would you say?
Yes.
So we click a thing for 100. Another name for dysplastic cells is that one. And it tells you if you're correct. And you can, keep going, and then it gives you a time. So it's timing you. And I'm just guessing, I'm not watching. And so you can play it as many, many times as you want. And it goes through all the different systems of pathophysiology, just something to help you practice. Okay. So that's really cool. Then the last thing that we created, which I have fallen in love with. Let me see. Wait a minute. I want to go back. Go back to the beginning. Okay, case studies are different case studies in the different systems. And so you can go into there, and they're going to fetch a file. It's a PowerPoint file. It takes a minute to load, more than a minute. Okay, there. And then it's a little bit where you can click on it. Like you can click what's the HPI, and it'll take you there, and go back, and then you can click into review of systems and go back and get your information, just like you were looking through the patient chart, physical exam, and click back, and then go into your test results. And so now you've been given everything that you could be given for that patient. Now, what are your differentials? And this is how we're going to present probably most of our cases, because this slide is kind of fixed up. And then you can go through each one differential. It's going to tell you the pros and the cons for that differential. And then, you can come up with what the regular one was.
That's my favorite too. We want to add more to that.
Then our final and our last thing is on our main page. If you go to the home page, which is right here, right, you can read a little bit about me, and you can read about a little bit about Dr. Zimmerman and why we're doing all this. You can see all of our little things here. There is a CEU website. Those are kind of ones, they're freebies that we thought were important. One is on oral health, one is on concussion training, and we might put more in there where you can go there to do. Those are really good in practice to have. But this is my favorite now. It's called A Day in the Life of a Nurse Practitioner. So let's click on here and see what happens. This is supposed to give you your day. This is a typical day in the day of a nurse practitioner, and you have patients from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. They all have different names. They all have a different chief complaint, and they are across the lifespan, because this particular module is for a family nurse practitioner. In the future, we may do geriatric, adult gero patients only, or psychiatric patients only, or pediatric patients only for a whole day. But our goal is for you to have an experience of what it would be like to be a clinician in the day of the life of an NP. So let's click into Clark. Clark is our 9 o'clock patient, and he has a chief complaint of shortness of breath, and he's 10 years old. So we click into Clark. Now, again, you have to be patient for it to fetch the file. It's going to fetch your file. It does take a minute, depends on your speed. I have a computer programmer here and a 17-year-old who plays video games, so my bandwidth isn't the greatest. Okay, so we have Clark. Now, it's an interactive PowerPoint. Okay, and then you have a caricature, an animation of the nurse practitioner interacting with Clark. So let's hear what they have to say.
How are you doing, Clark? I'm having more problems breathing. Since the weather's changed, I'm using my inhaler almost every day, sometimes even at night. But zoinks! Oh no, have you been sick lately? Had a cold or stuffy nose? No, not really. Have you been breathing anything that smells funny? Well, I'm worse after I get to school, but I think that comes from standing in line waiting to get on the bus. Have you had any fever? Oh, not at all. I haven't been sick. Any wheezing? Yeah, sometimes. The inhaler seems to help a lot. Well, let's take a listen to you.
Okay,
How
so
are you doing, Clark?
okay, so there's that interactive file that you can do. Now, these buttons on the side are designed to be like your chart. You have a medications, past medical history, immunizations, review of systems, vital signs, and physical exam. So we can see he was on Singulair and albuterol. We can see that he had 2 exacerbations requiring steroids in the past year. We can look to see he's all up to date on his immunizations. We have a review of systems where he is reporting some problems, and we took his vital signs. And in our physical exam, we have the lung sound. So let's see what the lung sounds sound like.
Ooh, got some wheezes there.
He definitely does. Now let's hear what he sounds like after we gave him an albuterol treatment. Much better, right? Okay, so now we have a little tab here that gives you what's his pulmonary index score. And this comes from Up to Date and shows you how to conduct a pulmonary index score. And then you can take the quiz to see the 2 questions that you have here. And it will tell you if you're right or you're wrong and give you your rationale. So these are for each one of these patients. And we really encourage you. I spent a lot of time making these scenarios as realistic as a typical day would be for you, so that you could feel that. And then we're going to be adding to that. So we really, really need your help. We need your help to listen, continue to support our endeavors. I'm going to stop sharing now. Really, really want you to come to our website, subscribe, leave us messages, tell us what you would like to know more about, so that me and Dr. Zimmerman can try to meet the needs of the students. And we really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we really do. And at some point, we may have some apps or other things that you can download for a nominal fee, but right now we just need your feedback.
Yeah, that's what we need. We're trying to develop some things. So last thing, just for you to know, next week we will have Margaret Bentz on again. And she is going to be giving us a legislative update for this year after COVID. I am excited to hear
Me
what they're
too.
trying to get through. We have had a lot of changes in our scope of practice with COVID. And so some of those things might go back. Some of those things might be put in place permanently, which is our hope. So please tune in and support us so that we can get you the information that you need. Thanks for listening.
Thank
and
you.
See you next time.
Take care. Bye.